So the unfortunate side to homesteading is that some days things happen that are outside of your control, and that's what happened last night. Before chickens all went to roost, we had a rooster, as you guys have probably been following on Facebook and wherever else I've posted it. We hatched some roosters out this summer, and it has been time to call them for a little while, and I've just been waiting because they've been getting along so well, and it's very, very possible to have roosters that get along well. We've had them here before, and they do fine. But sometimes there's a crazy in the batch, and this one rooster, you know, I've been saying from the beginning that he's a crazy. And we'll go over that in a second, but I've been meaning to call him, and unfortunately I didn't call him soon enough, and last night he viciously attacked one of our alpha roosters, to the point of the rooster, he was just like, stop, you know, get off of me, but he wouldn't let up. And those are the types of roosters that will that'll come after your kids, that'll come after you, that will be they'll be very mean to your hens. So we very abruptly and very quickly took care of the situation right then and there, and that rooster is no longer with us. But I want to show you, I posted a picture on Facebook and Instagram last night, so I'm coming out here this morning to check on the rooster that was wounded. So let's check him out, and then I'll kind of go over everything with you. Now there's our alpha rooster. That's Behemoth. He's not used to me being out here. Hello. You see his spurs on his feet? I'm not sure if you can see him or not. So this is him rounding up his flock in the morning. There's another rooster. He's putting him in his place. This is just establishing the pecking order. And there's the other one. He flew out very quickly. Hey, buddy. Hey. He seems to be doing fine this morning. Hey, buddy. I'm going to come out here and show you. So what happens when they come off their roosts in the morning, there's his brother back there. He's fine. He didn't get into a fight. See here, he's doing fine. He's doing just fine. He's eating. He just got banged up a little bit last night, but you wouldn't have known it. I mean, he was literally just on his deathbed last night. Not doing well at all. He was bleeding profusely. Now this morning, he's doing just fine. Chickens are pretty resilient animals since they're prey animals. They often don't show symptoms of sickness or pain until they're really in a lot of pain. I'm going to see if he'll come up closer to me so I can see him. You can see the blood there on his neck. You can see the dark spots or dried blood on his comb and wattles, but you know, I think he's going to be okay. I'm not even going to do anything this morning to him because, you know, sometimes nature is better left off to itself. It looks like the salve and the oils that I put on his comb last night really took off a lot of that blood. So I'm going to leave him alone. If we find that the hens are pecking at him, you know, to really get that blood off, sometimes they'll do that. Let's see if I can. There's his brother. Those are both his brothers. Then we'll put some more stuff on it. But it looks like he's healed up pretty good this morning. So I'm going to go over everything with you now. So what tends to happen in a lot of these situations, you know, we had a really great conversation on our Facebook page last night about what is a good rooster and what is a bad rooster. Like, when is a rooster fight good and when is a rooster fight bad? because there is a difference. We've had different flocks over the years. It's amazing how many years we've had roosters and chickens in different flocks and rotated flocks. But you can often tell, once you have chickens for a certain amount of time, you can often tell which rooster is going to be a good rooster and which rooster is going to be the crazy rooster. Now, contrary to what a lot of people say, not all roosters are mean. So here's the difference. A good rooster, he is going to protect his hens. He may fight with other roosters, but he will command a respect without having to physically, excessively harm another rooster. Bad roosters will be aggressive in any situation. So he's going to be aggressive with other roosters. He's going to be aggressive with the hens. He's the rooster, he'll sneak up or run up on a hen and mount her very quickly and very aggressively. These are the types of roosters who attack your kids. They attack you. They flog up into your face. These are the roosters that can rip a hen's comb off. If you've been homesteading for an extended period of time and you've kept a bad rooster around for a while, you'll know what I'm talking about. That's not a rooster you want on your homestead. That's a rooster that immediately needs to be called. I knew that this guy was kind of crazy. I'm not sure if I have any pictures of him, but if you go back you can see he's one of my barred rock mixes. That's from our own flock. What happens is I knew from a very young age that he was a little bit insane because he was one of the chicks that our broody mom hatched. And when he was around the other chicks, he would often get picked on and like tossed to the side. Bad roosters are going to seclude themselves because nobody in the flock wants them around. And there's a reason for that. It's because they're aggressive with everyone in the flock, in the hens and the roosters. So what happens is they seclude themselves, and then in our human minds, we're like, oh, poor rooster. No, that rooster is the one who will end up slitting your throat. He's the rooster who secludes himself, is very rough all around. You may not see it when you're around, but if you watch, like we have a back deck, we have a 2-level back deck, and I keep an eye on my flock all day long from my upper deck. I can look out my window and see what's going on, and so I'm constantly monitoring these roosters. And he was very rough, but I would put it off and put it off and put it off. What happened was yesterday evening after my son finished doing chores, thank God, he wasn't in the middle of it. He came running in and he said, Mom, the roosters are fighting. Well, that's not abnormal. A good rooster will establish pecking order constantly, but not in a vicious way. And so I was like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, Rule number 1, my kid has been doing this long enough to where he knows what he's talking about. So I look out the window and I see just blood everywhere on this one rooster. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I ran out. My husband's yelling behind me, don't do that, you're gonna get spurred. He was concerned about me, but I just didn't. I don't know, it was just instinctual that I just knew. Normally in a rooster fight, their brain isn't gonna be on you, it's gonna be on that rooster. So I went down. They saw me coming, so the good rooster was trying to come to me. The bad rooster was trying to pull him away from me. And as I got closer, the bad rooster inched up and wedged him up underneath our chicken coop. So my husband came down. Poor thing, he was exercising, and so he's in a workout shirt and shorts. And he's like, oh man, I'm going to get chicken poop on me now. But bless his heart, he helped me. He's very instinctual too. He's very much get it done and over with. And I'm thankful for my mountain man for that reason. But he came down and we were able to get the 2 roosters out from underneath the coop. And what happened was the bad rooster had a hold of our good rooster and was not letting go, which is another sure sign that that guy needs to go. We were able to get them out. I instantly grabbed the bad rooster, just picked him up, and I threw him to my husband. and he took him and right there dispatched him immediately. We were not going to wait to get a knife and put him in a cone, and we were not going to wait to go up to the front and get an axe and do all that stuff. It was just wham bam, thank you ma'am. Okay. And it works. You know, ultimately in olden days and even now when you're bird hunting, I know we've watched several hunting shows where they still do this, and we do it here. If you need something done quickly, you use the head bang method and it's over with, and it works the chickens too. And it's humane. It's no different than using a knife or an axe. It is very humane. So he was gone and over with, and it was done. I did go ahead and put my chickens up yesterday evening, and I checked on the rooster, the one that's walking behind me. I checked on him. I cleaned him up a little bit. Someone had asked me which essential oils I use. So for this particular situation, I used helichrysum. Try to say that 3 times fast. Helichrysum. It's a very expensive oil, but it's not one that you're going to use a lot. So that oil is going to last you a few years. It is an essential oil that every single homesteader needs to have in their homestead. I don't care if it's the only oil you have on your homestead. You need to have it. And what it does, it instantly stops bleeding. Now, for him, the little pieces, I wanted him to bleed out. I wanted him to get that dirt and bacteria out. And that's common in humans and animals. You need to let your animal bleed a little bit so it gets all the bacteria and dirt and infection out that has already started. Blood kind of purifies it in that way. But for the larger areas that were just gushing blood, which is an issue with big combed birds, we put the helichrysum on and it instantly stops the bleeding. I did go ahead, after that dried, I went ahead and put a salve on it, black drawing salve. The reason I did this is because it creates a seal so that it instantly begins the healing process. It also deters the hens from picking at his comb and making him bleed more. So we've used that many times. You can get it's called like Itchamol or something at your farm store, or you can buy a more organic kind, which again has that ingredient in it online. We do both. Now this morning, I was going to come out and I was going to grab him and I was going to put tea tree and oregano oil on him. Those are purifying agents. They're also natural antibiotics. The oregano is. The tea tree is an antiseptic, so it cleans it out, but he's doing really good. His combs is scabbed over. There's not a lot of scabbing, which tells me there was just a lot of dried blood, not necessarily a lot of puncture wounds. So I'm not going to do that this morning. I'm going to leave him alone because sometimes nature does a better job than humans can. And I think that's the situation here. I think he's going to heal just fine without any intervention from me. So it was rough because last night he was in a state of shock almost, which is why I didn't really want to intrude on him more than I had to then. So that's why I was going to do the other essential oils this morning, but I don't think I need it. So that was what we did. That's what happened. This is a homesteading reality. If you're going to have roosters and you're going to have chickens, then you're going to need to call them at some point. Whether it's an old hen or a sick hen or a rooster that's mean or just an excessive amount of roosters. So again, good rooster versus bad rooster. A good rooster is going to establish a pecking order. He will fight to an extent, but not drawing blood, and viciously fighting. He's not going to do that. He'll command a presence, which means he'll command respect, and the other roosters and chickens will know that he's alpha. We have 2 top roosters, my main rooster, Behemoth, He's that one. He's been our alpha rooster for several years now. He's probably going to be going into retirement soon, which is why we're keeping one of these other roosters. We have a second in command, which is actually the rooster that was attacked last night. The reason I kept him as second in command is because he's very gentle with my hens, but he's also very, very, very attentive to keeping my hens safe from hawks, which is a big issue. He's very, he scans the sky a lot. Which our main alpha rooster doesn't do, and none of the other roosters do as well, so that's why I was keeping him. The other two roosters that we currently have, the one we had 3 more. The one we called last night, it's gone, obviously. The other one, which is basically a twin to the second rooster we're keeping, he's here, needs a good home. He's a good rooster. He knows his pecking order. He's very much a flock mate. And the other one, the black and sunburst rooster that we have, I'm going to keep him too, I think, because he's also very gentle. He doesn't care about anybody. He acts more like a hen than a rooster, so I'm going to keep him as well. So we'll have 3 roosters, which is fine. We're adding more hens this year. We've got a couple more hens already, so I think they're going to be okay. Now, a bad rooster, that's not to say a good rooster can't go bad. It's very possible. But typically you're going to know because he'll be secluded, he'll pick on the other flock members, or he will be aggressive in some way to the flock members. So that's something you need to watch for with the bad rooster. Bad rooster should be called immediately. Don't give them away. That's a liability on you. No, that rooster's not just doing his job. That's a lie. Good roosters don't act out aggressively. They're not sneaky like that. That's a bad rooster. That's one that's not only going to hurt you, but it's going to hurt your children, and it's going to hurt your other flock members. So that's why we call them here. Now, the rule of thumb is that you can have 1 rooster to 6 to 8 hens. I would even stretch that out a little bit. Oftentimes my roosters have 10 hens each, but that's if they're really the roosters that really have a lot of rooster hormone, you know. Like my black and orange rooster, he's not very like roostery, so he's fine. It's okay to have less roosters with him, or less hens with him, but that's your rule of thumb. That was not an issue here. These roosters, what happened was they were just coming into their own. Some matured quicker than others, and it was my fault that I did not call the ones that should have been called immediately. So it's just a homesteader lesson, something you should know. Opportunities present themselves on our homestead, and I've always said we'll be raw and real and show you the truth behind homesteading, the truth behind having multiple roosters, the truth behind what we do here, the good things and the bad things, successes and failures. So here's one of our failures and successes at the same time. So we wanted to share that journey with you today. If you're interested, you know, in all the products that I mentioned, I'm going to list them below. You'll see resources in the description. That way you can kind of go back and look and see. Behemoth. And I think that's it. Yeah, it's really cold. You see my breath? It's really cold this morning, so I'm gonna get off here. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have not yet subscribed, please do. That way you can be alerted to whenever we have new videos. If you want to be alerted to when we have new videos, click on the little bell tab. That's either underneath this video beside our name or somewhere. That sends alerts to your phone. That way you know when we're live or when we've posted something new. And other than that, I hope you guys had a great Christmas. Have a happy new year. We're going into a new year. I'll try to get a video up on that. I did write a new year goals blog post, which I'll try to link below as well. Anyhow, I'm getting hoarse because it's so cold out here. So, you guys have a great day. Happy homesteading.